Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys and Magic. This is Hunter, Shane, Steven, and David. Say what up, boys.
Hello, people.
What's up, boys?
What's up, nerds?
We're coming at you with the final video. This is the part 2 of the multicolored commanders from Dominaria United, meaning we're going to take a look at all of the legendary creatures that are either from the main set themselves, from the box toppers / collector boosters that are the Legends Retold, and things that are just exclusive to set and collectors. David, you love that, right?
Oh, I actually hate all of it, but whatever.
So, coming at you again with this part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, look in the description down below. Go click on that. Take a look. So, let's jump into it with this first card. This is Ramirez DePietro Pillager. Ramirez DePietro Pillager is 2, a blue and a black for a 4/3 legendary creature, human pirate. It says, whenever he enters a battlefield, you lose 2 life and create 2 treasures. And whenever 1 or more pirates you control deal combat damage to a player, exile the top card of that player's library. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled. David, what do you think?
I don't think I like this because the lose 2 life is a safety valve to prevent you from doing shenanigans with them. I mean, the treasures are dope, but if I were to try and break them, I'd kill myself.
Do it.
Fine, challenge accepted.
Kill yourself.
I'm going to make a lot of treasures and then just die. Take that.
I mean, you don't think 2 life is good with 2 treasures?
Oh, no. I think that the 2 treasures is totally fine. I think that they totally stapled on the you lose 2 life to prevent you from, like, just having this thing bounce in and out and in and out and in and out up over and over again and just abuse the treasure factor.
True.
Because, like, that 2 damage is, like, it's going to stack, and at a certain point, that's going to start to really hurt. So, I don't know. I mean, I think this guy is really solid. He kind of pseudo-ramps you, which is weird for Dimir. And he does provide you with, I want to say, card advantage. I don't anticipate you playing with a whole lot of pirates. But luckily, he triggers himself.
Listen, guys.
Pirate Commander. What?
Yeah, Pirate Commander. No one cares about that. The only thing
What?
people care about this card is 2 other cards you can put in this deck.
Tell
And
me.
that is Demonic Consultation and Thassa's Oracle. It's the only
Gross.
2 cards you need in a black-blue deck.
I mean, by that standard, that's literally every blue-black deck in the entire game.
Yes.
True.
That doesn't make it good.
No.
But it makes it usable.
You guys want number crunches?
No.
Hit me.
So, in Dimir, blue or black or both, there are 74 pirates.
So
Perfect.
you're saying it's a doable thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Throw in 35 of them or some shit. You got yourself a cool pirate deck that probably does nothing.
Hey, there might be some cool pirates. I mean,
Sure, I really don't
Pitiless
know.
Plunderer. That's a good one, right, David?
No,
You love that card.
I completely talked out of my ass, dude.
That is a pirate. It is pretty good. And it makes treasures.
Look at that, dude. We got a theme.
Hey, you
Pirates
can
and
even
treasures.
throw.
You can run
you can even throw.
Dockside, dude?
No.
No.
What?
No,
Why?
because it's red.
But what if you can break it and put it in?
What do you?
That's literally not how Commander works.
Damn it.
You can put a Captain and Gathrod in there.
But it's
You
a
can.
pirate.
Yeah.
He is a pirate.
Well, listen, at the end of the day, the only question I have to ask is, are you ready to move on to grades?
Sure are.
Yeah,
You get it? Because R
you can
is
see
pirates.
yourself out. Get it? Because of the C. All right. Yeah. Let's move on to grades then. Steve, what are you giving it?
We give it a C. I don't think it's terrible. I think it does pseudo ramp you, like David was saying, with there being 74 pirates in, Dimir. I think this is doable.
David was saying, excuse me?
Hunter said that.
I thought I said Hunter. I thought I said as you were saying.
We do sound identical.
One's
I'm-
robotic and one's Hunter, yeah.
Yeah, I'm also going to give it a C.
I'm Hunter number 2, and I'm going to give this card a C as well.
I like to give it a C then too, guys.
Wow, dude. We're giving the C to a pirate. That average grade is a C.
Wow, that is Sophie.
This next card is Ramses, Assassin Lord. Ramses, Assassin Lord is 2, a blue and a black for a 4/4 legendary creature human assassin. It has Death Touch. It says other assassins you control get +1/+1. And whenever a player loses the game, if they were attacked this turn by an assassin you controlled, you win the game. That's pretty cool. Hey, Shane, real quick, what is this?
Wah wah. Oh, I
It's a
fucking did it
train.
wrong, dude.
It's
It's a
not
lord.
it's a lord. Yes. An
This card's
assassin
solid,
lord.
dude.
What do you think about it? Tell me about it.
I think it's actually pretty cool because I don't normally play on the stack like David and Steven do. I normally play by just like throwing stuff down. And I mean, granted, I have stacks of decks, but I never actually win with those decks. I just piss off the table. So when I actually win the game, it's with damage, and this is cool because now instead of having to focus on 3 opponents, I focus on 1, and I can win the game.
Yes, that's very true.
Eh,
Oh, great, Steven. Why?
listen, dude. As the House Dimir player, I like this card. I think it's cool. I like the effect. I just, with this being in your command zone, your plays are very, very just seen. So I think that this card, I don't think this card will get a lot of hate bear, but I do think that if you bring this out on the field and you're swinging at one dude and trying to kill him, I think that it's not going to work out the way you want it.
I don't know, man. I'm
It's
looking.
just very broadcasted. So
Sure, but in blue, you can protect it when it's out.
sure.
I'm going to agree with Steven on this one. I understand that, yeah, sure, you can protect it. However, this is going to become like, you're not going to be able to protect this from 3 opponents. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen is they're going to dogpile removal on this. Because like you play this and like, you're not going to just attack with it. You're gonna exploit it. So you're gonna attack with it, and then you're going to like cast hatred, and just like massive pump this thing just to one shot somebody.
True.
That's gonna happen one time before everybody looks at this commander and says, okay, if it gets to attack even a single time, it could mean gain.
Yeah,
And it's gain for everybody. It doesn't even have to attack you.
I think
Yeah.
it'd be super fun to build around.
Hell yeah, dude.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do agree because like there's a bunch of blue cards that can tap everybody else's shit to get you to basically get that attack in. I think this card is really good. I think that it can do really fun stuff, and I think you can build around it very well. I just, like I said, it's very broadcasted, and I think the second it hits and people start seeing you set up, it is literally a 1v3 at that point.
Hunter, do the numbers for me.
59.
Fuck
Ooh.
yeah, dude. Done.
Yeah, there's also Hitrata, the Silencer, also an assassin that just says it can't be blocked. That's game over.
Well, that's only if it killed somebody.
All you gotta do is hit. Yeah. You gotta kill someone.
Yeah.
But still, that's
I mean,
awesome.
that's also assuming that this thing is still around. Like, you can go for a kill shot even with another assassin, and if they do spend their removal on this, like, you've killed a player, but you're not going to get win the game clause.
Then I'll cast it the next time and kill another one.
Boom.
Cast it the next
Got
time.
him.
Kill again.
I don't know. I think that this card could be really fun in the 99. I don't know if I see this actually being at the helm just because of how telegraphed it would be.
Any more telegraphed than a counter sitting in there?
That's a counter/removal spell.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Let's move on to the grids. I'm gonna start us off, and I'm giving this a B. Big fan.
You know what, Hunter? I'm gonna join you there because
What?
I know what.
I thought you were gonna hate it.
I never said I hated this card. This card is really good. You can build around it. There's enough support with the amount of assassins you can have. I think it's a great card. I just think that you're going to have a struggle playing this deck. I think that there's no way you build this in a cheap manner and you get to have a deck that you're going to win all the time with. I think this deck is going to be something you're going to have to build super high power.
I think this deck is gonna it's gonna be a really bad example, and forgive me, David. But like my Kalia deck, I play that deck and people know what's up. I can see this kind of being in the same fashion, and that's why I kind of like it. And I'll give it a B as well.
Kalia doesn't win you the game.
I know, but it's the same kind of like hate where they see it and they go, Yeah, that commander can't stay around.
I can see the comparison there because it's definitely one of those things that like if you kill the commander, the deck falls apart. But Kaya also does have the upside that like once you hit turn 7 or 8, you probably should have enough mana to where you're just hard casting the gas things that you were originally trying to get into play.
That's true.
I don't necessarily think that you're probably going to be playing big things in this deck. Most assassins don't strike me as these big behemoths, but no, I think this card is cool, and I'm glad that it exists. I think it's a really interesting design. I'm going to give this thing a C.
Fair enough.
Well, after that, the average here is a B. Moving on to Rasputin. This is Rasputin the Oniromancer. Rasputin the Oniromancer is 1, a white and a blue for a 4/1 legendary creature human wizard. It says when it enters the battlefield, put a dream counter on it for each opponent you have. Each opponent creates a 1/1 red goblin creature token. You can tap this to remove 1 or more dream counters from Rasputin to add that much colorless mana. You can also tap him and remove a dream counter from him to create a 2/2 white knight creature token with protection from red. Yikes.
Yay.
I mean, I see what this card wants to do, but I don't want to see it do it.
3 mana
wish
for
it was a 1/4, dude.
4/1. Yeah, I was gonna say 3 mana for a 4/1 that gives all your opponents something that can kill
it.
this.
Well, I mean, that makes sense for the balancing, but it seems like this card, it's statted aggressively, but I don't think you're playing aggressively with it. Unless I'm seeing it wrong. Unless David's going
I
to put
think
me
this
wrong.
card's really bad. I mean,
It's cool to make the knight, though.
unless you're proliferating and adding more dream counters to this. But
Or flickering it.
I mean, I think you're flickering and you're playing a stacks deck and you're literally making them pay to attack you at this point.
I don't know if you're flickering this to keep giving your opponents creatures.
Why not, dude? If I can make them attack with themselves. I mean, I don't care.
I think the way of doing it is proliferating the dream counters to make your own stuff.
What do you think, Dave?
I think that this is like having a mana vault in the command zone. So you pay the 3 mana, you get this thing in play. He's going to get the 3 counters on him. You could tap him the following turn, add 3 colorless mana to your mana pool. Like you're going to jump from turn, assuming on turn 4 you have 4 mana. Using him, you now have 7. So like I can see him as a one shot. Like I'm going to drop a big threat. I wish he was statted differently, where he could actually help defend against the goblins.
Yeah.
He's a weird card.
Yeah. He does ramp. I didn't really read that part where it says you add that much, so.
Yeah, because like you can tap him and add 3.
Yeah.
But then that's it. It's gone.
Yeah. Then that is it, and he is gone unless you flicker or unless you do something with him. Which I mean, you are in blue-white. Those are the colors to do it. And maybe I don't know. There may be a loop here where you use the mana he generates to be able to flicker him. In fact, actually, Eldrazi Displacer, I'm pretty sure can do this now that I'm thinking about it.
Yep.
So like you flicker him and then you just keep doing it. You're gonna get infinite ETBs on this. Actually, I think that there is a way to break this card.
But
There's 100%
do you win?
way to break this card.
I mean, I don't think you're gonna win, and you still have to fucking tap him. I don't know. This is weird. Like you're not gonna be able to do it in a single turn, but like it gives you an outlet for something. You're not gonna go infinite with this because I didn't realize he's gonna come in with summoning sickness. I don't know if there's a way in blue-white to get rid of that.
I don't know. I think this the only way this works is if you build it as a flicker deck. Like this has to be a flicker deck.
You're gonna give your opponent so many goblins.
Yeah.
Elishnorn.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, yeah, that's one way to deal with it, but like I don't even know if I want to deal with them that way. I feel like I would more so want to just like drop a propaganda or a ghostly prison and say, hey, you guys all have a shit ton of goblins and it's gonna cost you a ton of mana to swing at me. Go beat the shit out of each other.
Oh, you mean like build a stack and make them pay to attack you, like I said?
I mean, yeah.
You're smart, Steven.
This card is so weird.
Yeah, I still don't like it.
I know, Hunter. Make brain hurt.
No, it doesn't make my brain hurt. It just makes me not like it even more.
So I did look up a fun card on this earlier. It is called Teferi's Moat. It is 3 colorless, a white and a blue. And when it comes into play, you choose a color, and creatures of the chosen color without flying can't attack you.
Play a moat, dude. Fuck it.
slow down real quick. Are you talking about moat as in the moat that is like $600-700?
I don't know. He's at DeFerry's moat. It must
No,
be a different thing.
this is $1.06 to buy.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about different moat.
No,
No.
he said DeFerry's moat or whatever, and then I said just moat.
All right. I apologize. I was partially listening.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's pretty cool, Steven.
Options.
Let's move
Option.
on to the grades. Shane, start us off.
Since there is a possibility for some kind of shenanigans, I'm just gonna give it a C.
I'm sticking with my gut. I'm giving it a D. I don't like it.
I can't believe I'm going to do this. Honestly, when I first was looking at this card, I was like, this is definitely like a C. But after kind of looking at it a little bit more, I'm going to give it a B. I mean,
You're crazy.
David brought up a pretty. I know, dude. I'm crazy as fuck. But David brought up a good point. It is a mana vault in the command zone. I really, I don't know. There's
It's
looking at
not
what
with
you can
summoning
do.
sickness.
Okay, cool.
I mean, you're not going to want to drop. You're not going to want to invest the 3 mana and then spend 3 mana anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, sure, whatever. I'm not going to argue that.
Talk about grades, yeah.
Yeah, I'm at a B.
I'm actually still going to give this card a D. I think it would probably give it a C if it was a 1/4 instead of a 4/1. That way, it at least had a booty on it so it could block.
Yeah. Well, with that grades, we are going with a C as the average.
Good.
Cool.
Next up, we have Ratadrabik of Urborg. Ratadrabik of Urborg is 2, a white and a black for a 3/3 legendary creature zombie wizard. Has vigilance and ward 2. Says other zombies you control have vigilance. And whenever another legendary creature you control dies, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's not legendary, and it's a 2/2 black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. Steven, this seems like it's right up your alley.
1,000%, sir. 1,000%. I was thinking about baking this deck with like Mikastian Hollowed to give everything just fucking +1, or sorry, not +1/+1, but Undying. This deck can be so fun, man. I mean, all the death triggers in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they become
Yes.
zombies, dude, and they get vigilance and nuts. Nutter
Plus
butters.
for running
100%.
white black. Reanimation's a beautiful thing. The token copy is not a legendary, so you can bring it back and not worry about a legendary rule. I don't know why they did this. And especially at 4 mana for a 3/3 that has protection on it.
Hunter, you love ward, dude.
I love ward.
This has vigilance. It gives all the zombies that it's going to create vigilance. The zombies don't have decayed, so they can still attack.
It's true.
Like, oh my god, dude!
Yeah,
Tell me
but
why
watch
it's so
out.
bad, David.
We'll say it again. Watch out for Hellish Norn.
I don't think this card is bad, Shane. I think
Nice.
this card is fine as is. The
Oh.
restriction on this obviously being though whenever another legendary creature. So like if the creature that you control that wasn't, or if the creature you control dies and it wasn't legendary, this guy does literally nothing.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just a build around clause for the deck.
Build around it.
This could be a fun commander for sure, dude.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, like, if I'm not mistaken, somebody wipes the board, you get all those fucking things back as 2/2 zombies.
That is true.
I believe, yeah, you get to stack that, yeah. This reminds me of the what was that Lord that also came out a while ago, that when a card died it became a enchantment?
Are you sure that was a lord and not a god?
It
It was a
wasn't
god,
Lord,
you're
it was a
right, you're
god,
right.
it was
I got
Merfolk.
Lord in my head, dude.
was
Lord.
You're right. This seems good though. Like the other one was enchantments, it's harder to deal with, but this is easier to play.
Yeah, that was also a 7-drop. This is a 4-drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that
Seems
7
really
drop
fun.
also had a fucking nasty infinite combo with some cards. So
You're right. Sorry. I didn't mean to derail, but I'm just saying that I was seeing parallel.
Well, I think we can move on to the grades. Steven, we're going to start with you again. You're super high on
don't
this.
do
What are you
that.
giving
Don't
it?
do that. I'm gonna give this an A. Go with my gut.
Ooh.
Going with my gut.
Oh.
I'm giving it a B.
I'm right there with you, dude. I'm giving this a B as well.
I am also going to ride the B train for this one. Strong,
Womp
not
womp.
broken.
Wah,
Well,
wah.
the average for Ratadrabik is a B. Moving on to Rith, Liberated Primeval. Rith, Liberated Primeval is 2, a red, a green, and a white for a 5/5 legendary creature dragon. It has flying and ward 2. It says other dragons you control have ward 2. And at the beginning of your end step, if a creature or planeswalker an opponent controlled was dealt excess damage this turn, create a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying.
I think this card's really funny.
Very specific.
I don't know if I'm on board with this card.
Do tell, Steven.
Oh,
I just think it's funny because like I don't really think anyone. I mean, the white's there and it's nice, but I don't think anyone cares about it. I think most of the time when you see this deck, it's going to be primarily Gruul.
yeah. Well, they're giving you access to some cool white removal.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I would
Fairy's
say-
Protection.
I don't think adding the white pip makes this card weaker at all.
No,
No, I'm not saying it makes it weaker. Never said anything about it being weaker. I just think that it's there.
there is
I
that
think it's
white
a cool
dragon that
little
you can.
addition.
White dragon you can roll D20, right? Isn't that a good one? The red one's actually better. Never mind.
I mean, you can play the white one, the green one, and the red one.
Yes, there you go. I don't know. It just seemed weird to me though because, except for the planeswalker part of this card, it's up to your opponent whether or not they block, right? So like, you're not gonna be able to, like, nothing you do will be creating you the 4/4. It's more like, will your opponent block? Oh, they do. I'm gonna deal excess damage now. And the planeswalker, you deal excess damage easily, but I don't know. It just seems weird, like at the whim of your opponent.
I actually see a little bit more of a problem with this card than what you just mentioned.
Why?
I'm assuming. You know what? No, you're. Yeah, okay. So here's my thought on this. On its own, this is a fairly large creature and it has flying. My problem here being is that like, are your opponents actually going to be able to block this? Like, the flying aspect on it means they have to have a creature with flying or with reach in order to even like have this thing proc, and then the tokens that it make are going to have the exact same problem. I mean, it's not a bad problem to have that you have a 5/5 flyer in play and your opponents might just not be able to block it.
Yeah. I mean, commander damage is the thing still.
Oh, it absolutely is. And I think that this is a card that like it's gonna want to make your opponents not block it because they're just gonna like you're gonna make dragons out of it. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm having trouble talking right now.
It's okay. We're all there, dude.
You're gonna make dragons.
Hey, the
Yeah.
ward's
What are
cool
those?
though too, but the ward doesn't get around board wipe, so it's like, okay.
I mean, Ward never gets around board wise, but any
No, I
kind of
know.
like single target removal it's gonna cost 2 more. Like Ward 2 actually is like a legitimate cost.
You gonna pay the 2?
You're gonna have to pay the 2, otherwise your shit's gonna be countered.
You gonna pay the 2?
Facts.
I don't know. I think this card. I understand what you guys are saying about I understand what you're saying about the flying, David. But like with things out there like Dragon's Tempest and Warstorm Surge, that when that dragon enters the battlefield or that creature enters the battlefield, it does damage to so and so. I think that
That's
it'll
true.
kind of help out a little bit.
Oh, don't get
Fighting
me wrong.
damage,
I'm not trying to say that this card is bad by any means. I actually really do like this card. I think it's a pretty solid body, especially for its like price. I was just saying that it has like that weird little conundrum there where it's like the tokens probably aren't going to be able to like feed into it.
Yeah. Still cool though. I do like playing my dragons, but I was just gonna say I like another dragon for commander, but
Also, the ability doesn't say it has to trigger off of a dragon, so like any of your creatures at this point have that ability.
that's true. That is true.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a dragon. I was gonna say that. It just makes dragons. Technically, I mean, dragons obviously would be better in this deck because it has giving the ability to all of your dragons ward 2. And for your information, there are 19 mono white dragons.
If
Cool.
we're not looking up the information on dragons in Naya. That's like almost all of them.
I know you guys were talking about white not being really relevant. Just letting you know, there's 19 just white dragons.
Yeah. Wait, this deck could just be like one of David's many tribal decks, dude. Like maybe there's only this is the dragon in the deck, right? And then
My
all the other
dragon tribal?
dragons. Yeah, maybe all the other dragons that you're giving ward to are just the tokens that you're making, and then you just have like a nice Naya deck with this guy at the helm.
Stop giving me ideas.
If you build it, we will cry.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and move on to the grades. David, what are you starting?
I think this is a really solid card. I'm gonna stick it at a C though. I don't think that this is gonna be probably anything more than just like your generic beat face.
Speaking of beating face, I'm gonna give this a B.
Whoa.
I'm giving it a C. It's average.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun, kind of cool. See.
Average there is an average grade. This is getting a C. Moving on to a Rakdos card. This is Rivaz of the Claw. Rivaz of the Claw is 1, a black and a red for a 3/3 legendary creature via Shino Warlock. It has Menace. You can tap it to add 2 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast dragon creature spells. And once during each of your turns, you may cast a dragon creature spell from your graveyard. Also, whenever you cast a dragon creature spell from your graveyard, it gains, when this creature dies, exile it. I gotta start with the Rakdos player. Dave?
I fucking love everything about this card. I love the mana cost. I love the stats. I love the fact that this is a via Shino Warlock. I love the fucking artwork on this card. This thing is badass, dude. He's wielding a fucking giant ass fucking cleaver here.
And
I'm trying to keep it PG.
oh,
Okay. Can you talk
Why?
about the card?
Yeah.
So the fact that this, like, I feel that this is like your little innocent threat that's going to be able to just like, it's going to come down early and then you're going to just start ramping up into those dragons. And those are probably going to be the things that eat the removal that your opponents have. Meanwhile, he's just going to help you continue to get more dragons into play. I don't know why he has Menace, but it's cool. You can push for the extra 3 damage if you want to. And then on top of that, like the recursion on this too is like, I think this is a card that like it. I look at it as like single target removal is probably not going to be sufficient for this. Like your opponents are probably going to have a board wipe, and very very quickly.
Would you build this deck?
I am very tempted to actually.
Dragon Tribal.
I still kind of feel like this would be better in the 99 of like a 3 to 5 color dragon deck, dude.
I mean, playing in black and red, you still have access to a ton of dragons.
I agree. I agree. It's just you don't get to take full advantage of the any color combination kind of thing, which obviously I know, but
Well, yeah, red red, red black.
yeah. Oh, is that
Black,
what that?
black?
Oh shit. Oh,
I mean, there are no other colors in Magic, really, are there?
I swear to God,
Red and black and red.
it does have good recursion though. I'll give you that.
What are we thinking, Steven?
Eh,
Oh,
I hate Steven. I
I
hate
I
Steven
love
so
it.
much.
You guys want to know how many dragons you could play?
No, it's a shit ton.
Rakdos?
57.
enough.
Like
Not-
300.
Not including this one?
Yeah, I said
He's not a
57,
dragon.
dude.
Oh yeah, he's not a dragon. So this
Oh,
would
get
count.
wrecked, dude.
It's just 171.
Yeah, see, a shit ton.
Yeah, I think anytime we talk about dragons of any color, we don't really need to know how many there are.
Unless
Okay.
it was
There's a
white.
lot.
Oh, the white
This
was
was just
19.
white, dude. Only 19.
Okay, from moving forward.
Hunter, what do you think, dude?
I like it. I think this is pretty cool, man. It's I don't know how often you're going to be attacking with this thing, because having this just be a mana rock by itself in a dragon tribal deck is dope. Getting
If
your
that is true.
yeah.
A
But
3 mana rock that taps for 2, that's actually on par with what mana rocks normally cost.
yeah, it's good.
And it does other stuff. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, you know what? I'm on board, Dave.
Hell yeah, dude. You drop this on turn 3, and on turn 4, boom, 6 mana dragon. And then they're probably going to have to deal with that. Whenever they deal with that, just bring it back from the graveyard.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think you also have to put anger in this deck, just because once you cast it, it goes away. And, when it dies, never mind.
It's when it dies, dude. It's not even like
Whatever.
exile at the end of the turn.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. You just have to remember all those triggers of which ones came in from the graveyard and which ones didn't.
Put a dice on it. You'll be fine.
Put a dice on it. Let's move on to the grades. Dave, you love this card. What are we giving it?
I'm going to give it a B. It's not broken. I love the design. I definitely feel like this is like sneaky good, and they're going to have to deal with it, and then they're gonna have to deal with all the other things your deck does.
I tend to agree.
I'm agreeing with both
Are we
of
both
you.
going Bs?
Are we
Are we B brothers?
Are we brothers?
Are we B brothers? That's it.
Yeah, we're Bs.
I really hate this so much. I normally agree with Steven.
Steven, agree with
Yeah,
us.
I'm gonna give this a C.
Oh,
Yikes. All right. Well, sorry, Steven, but that average is still going to be a B.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. We got Daddy Kobold. This is Rohgahh, Carekeep Overlord. Rohgahh, Carekeep Overlord is 3, a black and a red for a 4/4 legendary creature, Kobold Warrior. Other kobolds you control get +2/+2. And whenever you cast a kobold spell, you may pay 2. If you do, create a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying. And whenever you cast a dragon spell, create a 0/1 red kobold creature token named Kobolds of Carekeep. Hey,
Hey,
Dave,
Hunter, I did the math for you.
what's
there
oh
are-
God.
There are 10 kobolds.
Yeah.
period?
Why?
It's not. They're not a real tribe.
Seems like a weird card then.
Well, what are we thinking there, Dave? Mr. Rakdos player, back at you.
I mean, I think that you're going to put this in a deck that has a bunch of dragon spells in it, so that whenever you cast a dragon, you're going to make a 2/3 kobold.
Hmm. That is true, actually. Okay.
That's what this deck does.
And that's all this deck does. I don't think I'm high on this deck.
Yeah, it reminds me of just literally the last card we talked about, where it's Rakdos Dragon Tribal, right?
But it's worse.
Yeah, but the last one actually, yeah, it was way better.
Yeah, but this one is worse because it's only pumping the kobolds that you make,
And it's more expensive.
and
it
it's more
didn't help
expensive.
get the stuff out. Yeah, shit.
Plus, this one doesn't even have the unnecessary menace.
Yeah.
The unnecessary menace. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sold on this. Steven, you got anything to add?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I was hoping you were gonna like just glaze over this, but yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
He doesn't even want to talk about it, dude.
It's too low for him
It's
to talk
beneath
about.
us, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
Alright,
bad for
well,
anyone
dude,
out there that likes this card, though, dude. Sorry. He's trying to shit
sorry,
on it.
Rohgahh,
We shit on it.
Kobold Warrior. He's not too good in our eyes, but maybe you change. Maybe in the comments.
Leave a
you guys
comment.
let us
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the grades. Steven,
D.
I am joining you in this one. This is a D.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a D as well, I think.
This thing is C. I mean, the 2/3 tokens are pretty solid.
You can build it in.
I'm not going to,
Oh,
but
okay.
I do want to at least acknowledge, like, the deck does things.
I mean,
That's why I gave it a D.
sure. This average here is still going to be a D. Next up, another Dimir card, Steven. This is Rona, Shieldred's Faithful. Rona, Shieldred's Faithful is 1, a blue, and 2 black for a 3/4 legendary creature human wizard. It says whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 1 life. And you may cast Rona, Shieldred's Faithful from your graveyard by discarding 2 cards in addition to paying its other costs. So, an escape.
I don't know how to feel about this. Like, part of me hates it, part of me loves it. The part of me that hates it's just like, just fucking spend 2 mana less, and then don't play, the blue, and add a green and play Dina Soulkeeper.
Okay.
I don't know. I just.
I'm very distraught, dude.
Yeah, come back to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Shane?
I will say that this art is terrifying. I know it's nothing about the card itself, but it's really scary.
This
The
is
card
scary.
itself. Hey, so does that get around commander tax if it's in your graveyard?
Yes.
Yeah, it sure
Okay,
does.
so that's interesting. So the commander tax is always just 2 cards at that point, maybe? Cool, I guess. It makes it always a live card. That's kind of nice. Not saying that it wouldn't be hard to cast because it's only 4. so it's not insane. But I don't know. There could be some kind of shenanigans where you play a bunch of spells and then just drain everyone's life, dude. That could be a thing. I think that's what David's gonna tell me about here in a minute.
Nah, come back to me before David starts.
Okay, Steven.
going back to
I'm
you,
going to
Steven.
Steven now.
Yeah, I'm on board. I like this card.
He composed himself and he's good. All right.
Yeah, you had to Google real quick. What'd you Google, bud?
I just kind of looked up a bunch of like different spells. There's I mean, obviously blue black. There's a shit ton of like 1-cost spells. So like that. And this is very spell slingery. So I mean, like Archmage Emeritus is always a good card too.
What do you think, Dave?
I'm just sitting back over here watching you guys do your thing. No, dude, this is either a blue-black spell slinger where you just kind of like trying to go for it like Dimir control, or you could try to build a Dimir Storm to really take advantage of it. I think the second ability on her, more commonly than not, is just going to be flavor text and probably won't come up. My biggest concern is the fact that she costs 4 mana, and I know that 4 is not necessarily a ton, but I do think this is a commander you probably want to get into play as soon as the game starts, and her casting cost of the 3 hard pips is going to slow you down a bit.
True.
I don't know how high I am on this card. She's something that like she's going to have to sit around, and she's going to do like the repeated ping, and that's cool, but she's also going to piss off all 3 opponents at a certain point. If you do it too quickly, they're going to get an idea what's going on. And if you do it too slowly, she's not relevant.
Yeah,
Yep.
I tend to agree. With that, let's move on to the grades. We'll leave Steven for last. David, what do you think?
I'm going to go middle of the road on this. I'm going to give it a C. I think it probably has a sweet spot where you can play it and have fun with it. I do think that the hate generation and the fact that she's kind of slow can definitely work against her.
I think I'm right there with David.
Yeah, look at us, dude.
Dude, are we
C brothers?
Jesus.
This one's a pirate too.
C's,
Shut
buddy.
up.
These, huh?
Yeah, C's, buddy.
Nah. Not today. Not in my house.
Okay.
The House of Dimir will rise again with a B, but it'll stay at C
Whoa.
because of the average.
Wow, that average grade is still gonna be a C.
Yeah, I think that this card in a draw, and I just think this card in a draw deck and a Spellslinger deck for Dimir it's going to be a little bit better than I was thinking originally. So, plus you get to throw Sheoldred in here. That's cool.
That's cool, man.
The new one, sick.
Sweet. Moving on, this is Rulik Mons, War Chief. Rulik Mons, War Chief is 1, a red, and 2 green for a 3/3 legendary creature goblin. It has Menace, and it says whenever it attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield tapped. If you didn't put a card onto the battlefield this way, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Ramps itself sometimes.
Makes a 1/1 one time per turn sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think it's a very good card, Hunter.
I said it's cool. I didn't say it was good.
Oh, sorry.
Man.
It's also part of the same uncommon cycle where they're kind of like unnecessarily difficult to cast.
Yeah, it's
we
the
saw
cycle,
the 2
dude.
blacks, now it's the 2 greens. I don't know, man. What are we thinking on this one, Steven?
Thinking how long are we going to talk about this?
Man,
That's a solid opinion.
What a classic Steven answer. Shane, you got anything to say?
You can keep pitching around with all of us. You're gonna try. The art's cool.
This card is cool to a certain extent because it does something, but I just think there are way better cards in Gruul that I would rather pay for 4 or even add 1, and I'd rather pay 5. I'm okay.
Something I do find interesting about this card is the reminder text of Menace.
Well, had to add something on the card.
I mean,
Right, because he's not very menacing, so they had to be like, hey, just in case you forgot what Menace looks like, this is what it does.
It's an uncommon, so these are intentionally like planted in there to just kind of like help new players because you're going to see them more often.
Is that true?
I mean, I feel like if you see flavor text, or not flavor, if you see reminder text, it more commonly shows up on lower rarities.
Today I learned something new. Thanks, Dave. Let's go ahead and go to the grades. Mr. Knowledgeable David, what are we giving it?
I'm actually going to give it an F. I think that this card really doesn't do much, if anything, ever. I wish it put the card in your hand if it wasn't a land, but like it doesn't even draw you a card.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a D.
Hey, D brother.
Are we D bros?
We're D bros now, dude.
That's so wrong.
Oh my god, dude, are we D bros? No, because this
Yo,
is an
D
F.
triplet. Oh shit.
Oh man.
Well, you're F bros with Dave.
No, we're
Yeah.
F buddies.
F.
I'll take it.
Well, this tie goes to the higher grade. This average is a D.
We did it, Hunter.
This next card is Shanna Purifying Blade. Shanna Purifying Blade is a green, white, blue for a 3/3 legendary creature human warrior. Has lifelink. Says at the beginning of your end step, you may pay X. If you do, draw X cards. X can't be greater than the amount of life you gained this turn. This seems very good.
That could be pretty solid, dude. Swing
Tell
in
me.
at minimum, you could draw 3.
Yes, that is
Pump
true.
people up, make it a little bigger. Have other things with lifelink, dude. Anything to gain life. Draw more. I don't know, dude. Seems 3 mana for a 3/3 that does some stuff. I don't know, dude.
Shane
It
said
seems
anything
real
to gain
good.
life. Anything.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll do anything.
I'll whatever you want, Steven. I'll do it.
This card's great. Solid.
This card's great.
Great colors.
All right.
Love it. Lifelink. Good colors for lifelink. Good colors for protection. Good colors for red. Like the card.
Okay.
Are we saying anything yet? I don't even know what's happening.
Move on to Dave. Dave, say some stuff.
David, can you just make sure we sound smart now?
This is my favorite card in the entire set, just to give y'all a heads up.
Holy shit.
That is mind
Are
blowing.
you about to drop some knowledge on me?
I mean, I look at it like this. I feel like this would be a card that would be straight up your alley, Shane. You play this in a stacks
Yeah.
deck, and you
Ooh.
just go to town with it, where you're just going to be drawing so many cards per turn, trying to limit what
Ooh.
your opponents can do. Like, this is a threat that's just going to continue to get in. It's going to make sure you continue to just like stacks out the board with its draw engine. Plus, on top of that, like, it doesn't have to actually even connect. You can have other creatures with lifelink. I mean, you play a Sarah's Ascendant in this, and you drop it early. You're gaining 6 life. If you have access to mana,
Yeah.
you pay mana with this card for its ability, and you just draw cards. It's a 1-for-1 rate.
David, this is amazing.
This card is nuts.
It's nuts, dude. I'm not even being facetious. I would play this deck.
Build it.
Maybe I'll have David do it. Wait, I mean, maybe I'll build it.
Uh,
Hunter, what do you think,
Okay.
dude?
I think this card's incredible.
Tell me why.
I think we've already said everything.
Yeah, but I want to
But-
hear from you now.
All right. Just put anything in this deck that can gain you life. Put in a land that gains you 1 life as it comes in. You can just pay 1, draw a card. Just keep the card draw. We've said it in multiple videos. I say it all the time. Is probably the most impactful mechanic in all of Magic. Would you agree?
I would agree.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I hate agreeing with you sometimes, but yeah.
Also, winning the game is pretty impactful, but yeah.
I mean, card draw wins games.
This
Dude.
precisely. And I'm gonna have to agree with David. This is an all-star. And I think we can move on to grades because I'm
Do
gonna
it.
give this an A.
Oh,
I hate
That
to
would
do it.
what?
I hate to do it. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. You're going to make me
Do
do it. I'm going to give it an A with Hunter.
What? Are we gonna be A triplets? I want to give us an A too.
Hey!
I mean, based on my little spiel that this is my favorite card in the set, I feel like I already kind of gave away my grade. This is an A.
Whoa, A quadruplets.
Well,
For 4 A's ever.
this is the
given
first
out.
foray in the video in this series so far. This average here, obviously, is a nice giant A.
This is probably the first card we've all A'd.
I think it
100%.
is.
Pretty sure.
I don't think so. I think we had not at all A's.
I'm saying in this set.
Oh yeah, in this set 100%.
All right. Moving on to a planeswalker that can be your commander. This is Sivitri, Dragon Master. Sivitri Dragon Master is 2, a blue and a black for a starting loyalty of 4. As a +1 that says until your next turn, creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless their controller pays 2 life for each of those creatures. It has a -3 that says search your library for a dragon card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle. And a -7 that just says destroy all non-dragon creatures. It's very
Bad.
I was gonna say the +1 doesn't even really protect it because 2 life is jack shit in commander. Like yeah,
It
I'll pay
doesn't.
2 life.
Yeah, but you have to, if you're trying to hit this, you got to do at least 5 damage. Maybe it's like, oh, I'll pay 4 life.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's assuming you want to kill it. You can hit this thing and just knock it back down to anything less than 3, and it doesn't do anything relevant again.
Yeah. I mean, granted, getting a dragon is pretty good, right? That's strong, but
That's why I said less than 3. If this thing has 1 or 2 loyalty, it literally does nothing.
yeah. This is
How about this? Let's think about it just as its minus ability. Is 4 mana good enough just to go grab any dragon in Dimir?
Depends on the dragon.
I think that's repeatable. Maybe, yeah.
It's not going to be repeatable because it's going to get more expensive, right?
Well, if you're no, I'm saying like you can plus like in magical land where this doesn't die, you minus it and you plus it, plus, minus it again.
I mean, if you're grabbing like, I don't know, fucking Kuka show, maybe.
Yeah. What do you think, Dimir player?
I mean, I'm not gonna shit on this card as much as you guys might. I don't think it's terrible. I think that Dimir Dragon Tribal is interesting.
Dimir Dragon Tribal, huh?
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is blue black all day. I'm not high on the card, but I don't hate the card. I think it could definitely do some cool things. At the end of the day, listen, you can always put Basta's Oracle and Demonic Consultation.
Oh my
in this.
god.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah, get Steven out of here.
This guy.
No, I think it's pretty cool. I just my only issue is normally when I play blue black, I don't really ramp that hard, and I feel like most of the time dragons cost a fucking shit ton, dude.
I know you said you don't want to hear it ever again when we're talking about dragons, but I think Dimir is an interesting
I'm gonna do it anyways.
So there's only 58.
Still enough to be playable.
Sure.
Sure.
I don't know, but depends on how many of those are good.
A lot.
In Dimir?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, Dimir
Sure.
also just being mono blue, mono black.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Blue and black dragons. Let's move on to the grades. David, we'll start with you.
I'm going to give it a D. I don't think this is a card that's going to do a ton. I don't know. This is also probably just like a one shot to just tutor for a dragon. You still have to be able to cast the dragon. I'm just going to give it a D.
Yeah, I'm on board with you there. I don't think this is a very powerful commander, nor is it a powerful planeswalker. It's a D.
I'm gonna follow my brothers. I'm gonna go D.
Follow us in the D Holla.
Wow.
You know, it's funny because Dimir actually starts with a D. That's why I'm going to give this a C.
That makes sense.
Go against the grain, like always, Steven.
I mean, listen, I think that this card, it does more than what a D is worth in my mind. A D is a card that just kind of has an effect in my book.
Okay.
This is a C. It's average. It's 4 mana. It's a tutor. The +1 allows you to have a little bit of defense, kind of, especially if you have some creatures out to block. I think it's. I don't think it's a D.
Well, that average is still going to be a D.
It's a D, just because you guys made it a D.
That's right. Moving on, this is Solkanar the Tainted. Solkanar the Tainted is 2, a blue, a black, and a red for a 5/5 legendary creature elemental demon. It says at the beginning of your end step, choose one that hasn't been chosen. You can draw a card, or it says each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life, Or it says Soul Kennerud the Tainted deals 3 damage to up to 1 other target creature planeswalker. Or you exile Soul Kennerud, then return it to the battlefield under an opponent's control.
No.
That last line kills it, huh?
I just don't want to do this. I don't
I
know
feel like
where
this
you break
card
this
should
card.
be green.
Green, maybe.
Artwork's very green.
I do agree. The artwork is misleading.
But either way, like, sure, we talked about this in Standard and how it maybe could do something cool, but this is just not powerful enough in EDH.
You definitely have to somehow counter the trigger, right? Wouldn't trigger?
Yeah, you were
Right.
talking to me about this earlier. Counter triggered ability.
Yeah, but then what? You just want a 5/5 hanging around?
I guess you'd have to continue to trigger because it happens at the beginning of your end step every time. So eventually it'll be like, you still haven't chosen this one.
Yeah, this just seems lame.
I mean, I feel like this card with like John Arenicus in it might be kind of fun. But I mean, I don't know. Then you got to like have John Arenicus out.
Yeah, I don't like this at all. David,
I think
what do
when you
think?
build this, you're building some goad.
I mean, sure.
I mean, a Carter Doomscourge in this would be really fun. There's a lot of stuff that you can. I don't know. It's got the just make people not attack you. I don't know.
What? I mean, you're giving this away though.
Yeah, to not attack you, it's got to attack one of your opponents.
So, but you're gonna let your opponents draw a card. You're gonna let them gain life. You're gonna let them.
But if you
Deal
goad it,
damage.
they have to swing with it, and hopefully they don't fucking have to do any of that because it dies. Because nobody wants
When
to
you
swing
cast
it.
it again for 7 to draw a
I
card.
mean, no, I'm not. Listen,
gain 2 life.
I'm putting, but you will get more upside.
True. It's just
I mean,
it's
let's
not
be honest.
good though.
Half the time people play board wipes, and you're gonna have to fucking pay more for your commander anyways.
Yeah, but I just feel like your commander doesn't do anything.
This does 4 things.
But it really doesn't. Which one of those says you win the game in any form?
It's up top. It's next to the 2.
Oh.
A blue?
Hey man, I'm a blue player and I don't get it.
David, do you have anything to say to this?
I mean, it's blue and black. Just play Thoughts of Oracle and Demonic Consultation.
God
There you
damn,
go.
We fucking gets it.
I discard.
I'm ready to move.
We're gonna move to the grades. David, what are you giving it?
I'm gonna give it a D. It's at least a 5/5, and it cantrips ish, assuming that you'll make it to your end step. So it's a D.
Once
I'm
again, I'm
giving it a
joining
D
you.
as well. You fucking brother of mine. I wanted to follow Dave and then you took it and then now we're brothers again.
All right, you said D already. I said D now too.
If you blink
Brother.
this at your end step on the last turn, does it
It
still
resets. It
It
resets.
resets?
Mm.
Yeah. I'm gonna give this a C.
I don't want to blink a card to avoid the bad side and not really get any positive.
Yeah.
But it resets.
Okay.
It draws a card and has 2 other very irrelevant abilities.
That's what I was trying to get at too.
Still abilities.
All right,
Still
we already
ability.
graded it. We already graded it. Let's go.
This average is a D. Moving on, this is my boy, Soul of Windgrace. Soul of Windgrace is 1, a black, a red, and a green for a 5/4 legendary cat avatar. It says whenever Soul of Windgrace enters the battlefield or attacks, you may put a land card from a graveyard onto the battlefield tapped under your control. It has an ability where you can pay a green and discard a land card to gain 3 life. You can pay 1 and a red and discard a land card to draw a card. And you can pay 2 and a black and discard a land card. Soul of Windgrace gains indestructible end of turn. Dab it. I like it.
Tell me why you like it.
The
Well,
name.
No.
The
not
name.
You're paying and you're getting rid of a land. And when this attacks, you can grab that land and put it back.
That is
And
true.
you can still play a land for turn. So essentially, it's ramping-ish.
How
Which,
the hell is that ramping?
because you're playing 2 lands for turn.
Help me.
Yeah, I mean, past
So,
turn 4.
yeah, you play this, right? You can pay, discard a land. When this swings in, you grab that land, put it back. You haven't played a land for turn. Play another land.
Okay, you know what? Maybe I was thinking about a different world because my thought on this is like you have to have a land in your hand for this card to have any abilities.
Not necessarily. You can make this a land destruction deck, David. You can
I don't.
you can blow up your opponent's lands and take their lands. It's from a graveyard.
I don't think I want this as a land destruction deck. I mean, this is. I understand that yes, you can. It's also 4 mana. So if everybody's blowing up their lands and this thing eats a removal spell, then I'm fucked.
Well, what if you're just, cracking your fetches, and then by the time you have, turn 4 or 5, you can just have one of your other lands in your hand, discard it, grab back your fetch, play your land for turn. Like there's a world where you can start doing stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, there's things that this deck can do. I just look at it like not only do you have to have a board state, you have to now have cards in hand that you can pitch. Plus, the abilities on this, like the indestructible one, is expensive at 3 mana.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, this in a lands matter, like, as a lands matter commander, I think it's pretty good. This in a lands matter deck, say Lord Windgrace, I think this is an all-star.
I can
If
see
I'm-
it in the 99. I'm not super sold on this at the helm.
I like
If
it at
I'm
the helm.
swinging with Lord Windgrace and he's already tapped, does that bottom, like, it just doesn't tap, like, does it matter?
No.
Yeah, okay.
Oh man, what a great card.
What do you
Better
think,
than the
Steven?
last card.
I think. Don't you dare, Shane.
Ah.
Yes, this is better than the last card. I think this card is really solid. I agree with Hunter's point that I think that now I won't say build this as a land destruction deck. I think that you have some land destruction to go along with this, but I do think that this is a land matters deck. Landfall triggers galore.
Yes, sir.
Galore.
Landfall triggers are nothing to scoff at. Tons of cards in this color set that you can play that let you play cards or land cards from your graveyard. Lots of synergies to be had here. I think this is insane. So I do enjoy this card quite a lot.
Yes, sir. I'm ready to move on to the grades. I'm going to go and say I like this so much, I'm giving it a B.
Whoa.
Yes, sir. Solo Windgrace. I'm a big fan.
Sir,
Yeah, I'll join you there, man. I think this is a solid B.
There we
What?
go. There we go.
I can't be your brother here, dude. I'm sorry. I've got to give it a C.
I'm joining Shane. I'm going to give this a C as well.
Brother.
Well, that tie goes to the higher grade. This average is a B. Let's go, Steven.
Where are we going?
To the
The next card.
B. Next up, Stangg, Echo Warrior. Stangg, Echo Warrior, 2, a red and a green for a 3/4 legendary creature, human warrior. Says whenever Stangg, Echo Warrior attacks, create Stangg Twin, a legendary 3/4 red and green human warrior creature token. It enters the battlefield tapped and attacking. For each aura and equipment attached to Stangg, create a token that's a copy of it attached to Stangg Twin. Sacrifice all tokens created this way at the beginning of the next end step. So basically, whatever is on this, just make a copy of the exact thing.
Okay.
Card hurts my mind, my brain.
It's
I mean, it's just a
very-
copy of him.
Yeah, it's very easy. Anything attached to it just makes a copy swinging with it.
This is Voltron, for sure.
It's Voltron, but times 2 because
It's
there's
got an
2.
evil twin, dude.
Yeah.
But does that make
Yeah.
it good?
The copy won't trigger commander damage, right?
No.
That's not our commander, I don't think.
No, it
It's
is not.
the
It is not
twin.
your commander.
It's the twin, bud.
Different name. And
I really don't know how to grade this.
it's just a token.
I mean, you grade it with like one of 4 letters.
Okay, dickhead, but is this good? I don't know. Probably mediocre.
Think
mean-
about this.
Oh, here we go.
Let's say you've got doubling season in play or something like that. The copy comes in. The legend rule says you have to get rid of 1, which means you'll create a copy of the token, but get rid of the one that's going to kill itself anyways. Now you have 2.
The token is a copy. Or the token is a legendary as well.
I
Your
know,
doubling
I'm-
effects aren't going to work here.
No. I'm saying you'd get rid of the one that's gonna kill itself regardless. Then the other one just stays. Now you have 2.
I
How
don't
do you
think
have 2? They're
that's a
legendary.
copy of it. No, he meant you keep one of the twins.
You get to keep the twin.
But won't it still have the same text?
Yes.
It doesn't have the same text.
Why wouldn't it have the same text?
Stangg twin. It's not an actual copy of this card. It's creating a whole new card.
So what Hunter is trying to specify on is the fact that the token doesn't say sacrifice it. Stangg says sacrifice, but he doesn't say sacrifice Stangg's twin. He says sacrifice all tokens made made that way. So the doubling season token won't be made that way.
Bingo.
Got it.
However, you're still only going to have one, because if you make another Stangg token, the legendary rule is going to kick in and you'll still eliminate it. So like you're only at most ever going to have one.
But you're making a copy of all the stuff that's attached. So you'll have a whole bunch of different artifacts still.
Yeah, but you'll only ever have just... Okay, whatever. I think that this is fine, because like any of the auras and stuff on it will go away. I wish that the token wasn't legendary. That way you could like Helm of the Host onto this and Blade and fucking Doubling Season and really go nuts with him.
Yeah. I was just saying, doubling seasons can make a whole bunch of different artifacts.
As long as the artifacts aren't legendary.
True.
Meh.
Meh, I'm gonna give it a meh as well.
All right, we'll move on to the grades then. We won't keep going on. After all that, I'm still giving it a C.
Wow. We went
That's his
through all
job. Talk it up just for it to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll join you on the choo-choo train. It's a C.
Same. It's a beat face.
It does the
Your
thing. It's a C.
What's your favorite, David? So
It's-
that's 4 C's, huh? That average there is a C. Next up, Stenn, Paranoid Partisan. Stenn, Paranoid Partisan is 1 white and a blue for a 2/2 legendary creature human wizard. It says, as Stenn, Paranoid Partisan enters the battlefield, choose a card type other than creature or land. Spells you cast of the chosen type cost 1 less to cast. You also pay 1, a white and a blue, to exile Stenn. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Little blink effect there, so you can switch back and forth onto what card type you want.
Sure.
Card's nuts.
It's nuts. What the fuck?
What do you
Protects
mean?
itself.
What do I mean? What do you mean?
There's a 1-turn fucking win combo in this fucking thing, dude.
I hate combos, dude. Eat my wiener. Tell me what it is, Steven.
Too long to go about it.
Oh, okay, that's fun. That's a fun magic card.
I mean, turn 1 wins are stupid just because you do need the perfect fucking hand.
Gonna say, I mean, you can turn one win on a Thassa's Oracle Demonic Consultation.
100%.
Amen, brother.
But you can't put fucking demonic consultation in this.
No, you can't. But that's my point, though, is that like I don't think we should be saying a card is really cool because there's a turn 1 win. You could turn 1 win in just almost every color if you get Magical Christmas Land hand.
Yeah.
I think this card is cool because it protects itself.
Good, you're right.
I mean, I think this card's cool because it's 2 mana 2/2 that lets you cast spells of the chosen type for 1 less to cast. How many 1 mana artifacts do you know they're really sick to fucking play for cheap? Like,
Probably like 6.
Me for
Yeah.
free.
I think Steven kind of hit the nail on the head there. This is probably an artifact control build that you're just gonna like shit out artifacts. I mean, how are you not high on this card, Steve or Shane? You were the affinity player in Modern. Like, welcome to EDH Affinity.
Yeah, but Affinity wasn't white blue.
This is like your favorite color combination.
Okay, I guess I'll like it now.
There's so much you can do in this deck.
We did it. We
It's
convinced
not,
Shane. The Shane card is for Shane.
I think we did it. Now explain why you like this so much, Shane.
Okay, let me tell you why I like this so much. Have
Here
you
we
heard of a
go.
little thing called Affinity?
Yeah?
Well, this is Affinity in Commander.
That's awesome, dude.
And I like white and blue together as a combination of cards. So, it just does everything I want to do. I'm going to put it in play. I'm going to say probably not artifact, because why would I do that?
Then later on, you're going to pay the 3 mana, realizing you made the mistake, so you can blink him and then name artifact.
Yeah. Well, because, you never know what you want to play. Okay, fine. To be serious, yes, I do see this card being kind of fun. I'll play it in a stacks deck or some bullshit, and you guys will hate me.
Perfect. Let's move on to the grades. What are you giving it?
See?
I'm giving this a B, man. I'm real high on this card.
But you don't like this kind of stuff.
I do.
Oh man, I'm gonna do it again. This card's an
What?
A.
Whoa.
Wow.
100%.
You're giving it an A because of a 1-turn combo, dude?
I mean, that's part of it, but I think this card is fucking amazing.
Okay.
The stacks you can play, the control you can have, the fact that you can, like Hunter said, protect, reblink, you can reassign what chosen type you'd like to play for 1 less. There are other cards out there in these colors that can make those items cost 1 less as well. This is a great card. This will see a shit ton of play.
Very matter-of-fact statements.
I think the things that needed to be said have been said. I think this card is fine. I'm actually just going to give it a C. I'm not necessarily super high on it, but I do. You know what? No, fuck it. Never mind. I'll change it. It's a B because of how cheap it is, and it's going to be a pain in the ass to get rid of.
Dude, given the peer pressure, why don't you?
Womp womp. This average here is a B. Next up is Tatyova, Steward of Tides. Tatyova, Steward of Tides is 2 green and a blue for a 3/3 legendary creature Merfolk Druid. It says land creatures you control have flying. And whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, if you control 7 or more lands, up to 1 target land you control becomes a 3/3 elemental creature with haste. It's still a land. It's a weird card, man. I don't know what to think about it. Simic. Shane, what do you think?
They do have a lot of ways to turn lands into creatures in that color combination. And now they all have flying. That could be cool. That might not just be flavor text, so. Actually, I'm hoping that you don't make that flavor text if you're making this your commander. You probably should be caring about that a lot.
Yeah,
And
it should be like the main thing your deck does if it's your commander, right?
Well, the fact that, she also, now that I'm like, she does do that herself too, so. There's that. She has a little bit of an outlet, yeah.
She'll make a 3/3 flying haster.
That's true. So, eventually all your lands will be, it doesn't say till end of turn.
David?
I actually kind of like this card. Your in colors are going to naturally help you ramp. So you play creatures that are also going to help you ramp. And then in the later portion of the game, all of your lands are going to be 3/3s. Plus, this is a card where you can play Natural Affinity in, which turns all of your lands into creatures. And then boom, they all have flying. And in fact, the card turns all lands into creatures. So it's great whenever your opponent tries to board wipe, because then they'll wrap their lands.
See?
It's also going to blow up all of your lands too, but I don't know. It's a fun little card.
It's something you're willing to do. Yeah.
This is stupid.
Jeez, Steven.
Tell us how you really feel.
You just did.
I'm not high on this card at all.
What?
Yeah, I know. Building around lands as creatures seems weird.
Stupid.
What's the beauty? You don't have to actually fully do that. You can just play a lands deck, and then they all turn into creatures that have flying.
How about you just make this deck with 99 lands, dude?
I mean, there also are lands that have the ability to become creatures on their own.
They're called man lands, dude.
Yeah. We seen them. They were pretty good. What was the blue one that was a giant 7/7 that just got rotated out?
Hall of the Storm
Hall of the Storm Giants, yeah. That flying. Whoa, watch out.
Whoa.
Let's move on to the grades. Dave.
I'm going to give it a D. I'm not super thrilled on this card. It is what it is.
Yeah, I am also giving it a D.
I'm gonna tip my hat and at least acknowledge that it could be doing something. So I'm gonna give it a C.
And my ruling is, if it can do something, it gets a C.
Look at that.
Every card can do something. Do you not believe in D's and F's?
Ah, you're right. This is a D.
This average grade is a D. Moving on, we have Tetsuo, Imperial Champion. Tetsuo, Imperial Champion is a blue, black, red for a 3/3 legendary creature human samurai. It says, whenever Tetsuo, Imperial Champion attacks, if it's equipped, choose one. Either have it deal damage equal to the highest mana value among equipment attached to it to any target, or you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to the highest mana value among equipment attached to Tetsuo without paying its mana cost. Uh-oh, Steven.
What?
What do we think?
I think it's pretty cool. Gets around suspend.
Gets around suspend.
That's the only reason why you like it?
I mean, it's a pretty good fucking way to get around suspend, dude.
Let me get this straight. You're going to get around suspend by paying 3 mana to deploy this, X amount of mana for your equipment, X amount of mana for the equipment attach cost, and this has to attack.
Yeah, you got him, dude.
I don't think you're getting around suspend. I think what you could have done instead was just pay the suspend cost and eat the counters on it and probably have it resolve at the same time.
Nah, get around it, dude. Good shit. Good shit, Steven.
I'm a big fan of this card. I think it's really cool.
Really?
It's very, very different. Something we haven't really seen before. I know it's an Equipment Matters deck, and yes, we have seen that, but to cast things for free is always awesome.
I think the first ability on him is relevant. I think the second ability on him, like, almost forces you to be in like a bipolar deck where it's like, I really care about equipment, but I also really care about instants and sorceries. And if I'm not caring about all of them together, then my deck doesn't do shit. So at least the first ability, he just has to be equipped.
Dealing damage to face.
I mean, I
And
remember it's not being
on
too high on this
attack.
card. When we first announced it, we weren't really sure what to say, and I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to say I don't really think I like it.
I mean, hey, man. I appreciate you sticking to your guns.
You know what? I appreciate you, Steven.
Even though those guns are very empty.
I'll fill them up, dude, and shoot them at you.
I mean, you could always do something like Grafted Skeleton and then hit somebody for 7 infect.
Yeah, but we don't like that in this channel.
That's true. You can. This does the damage.
Didn't you build an infect deck?
Shut up.
Well, this does the damage, so like he's gonna hit for, I think it's 4, if I'm correct, on Grafted Exoskeleton. And then if he makes combat, you'll hit for an additional 3.
Ooh, that is mean.
Let's go ahead and do a quick googly goo on this card so that I make sure that I'm correct here.
You're correct.
No, I am not correct. I'm sorry.
What?
You'd hit for 9 infect. The equipped creature also gets +2/+2.
Yeah. Perfect.
And then too bad you're only like playing blue too, which really sucks at proliferating.
Yeah, no, but wait.
An infect deck. Whoa.
I don't understand. Because Tetsuo is the one dealing combat damage, or dealing
He's
the
dealing
damage.
the damage.
If he has infect and deals damage to any target, he deals that damage as infect.
Bingo.
So he'll hit it as poison counters.
It's not that good.
It's pretty good, man. David, are you doing a deck on this? It was requested by a viewer, as well as it's one of the top commanders in the entire set right now.
Oh, probably.
I think it's really good, man. I'm ready to move on to grades if you guys are.
Let's do it.
I'm going B, baby. Let's go.
I am not that high on this card. I'm going to say this is a C at best, and my gut honestly tells me it's more close to a D than a C. I'm just going to go with the C, though.
I'm going to go with the C as well, man.
Wow, guys. Really split the room here, huh?
Go ahead, just pick your B, dude.
Hunter, what's the rule?
Goes to the
If it
higher
Goes to
grade.
the
does.
higher grade, huh?
Oh,
Guess it's a B.
Hmm.
all right. Well, then that average there is a B. Moving on to a very controversial card with all of us. This is the Ever-Changing Dane. The Ever-Changing Dane is a white, blue, black for a 3/3 legendary creature shapeshifter. You can pay 1 mana, sacrifice another creature. The Ever-Changing Dane becomes a copy of the sacrificed creature, except it has this ability.
I honestly don't even want to talk about this card anymore. I'm not gonna lie. I think we've beaten
What's
it
there to
into
talk about? We
fucking
can just move to the grades. Where are the A's at?
We're going to start off with Shane, because Shane originally said this card was amazing. I want to hear him say it in this video.
Let me say it again. I mean to reiterate. I love this card. This card is right up my alley. What I want to do with this deck, and then David and I will argue till the cows come home. I
Interesting.
want to set up my magical Christmas land. Okay, so I'm always gonna live in this world. I'm gonna have a board. I'm gonna have a nice, healthy board. I'm gonna swing in at somebody. I'm gonna turn him into something that has unblockable. You're not gonna be able to block with it. Then I'm gonna turn him into something like Wall of Blood, where I can pay life to make it big. And I'm gonna one-shot somebody. And that's what I'll do, David. And if you're gonna talk about removals, then I'll turn him into something that has hexproof. It's the flexibility of this card is nuts. It's mind-boggling.
It
I
is
guess you could
mind
say it's-
bottling.
Yeah, it's like
Bottling.
you're putting your mind in a bottle.
I guess you could say it's ever changing.
It's ever changing. It literally is whatever you need it to be in that situation.
David,
That's all I gotta say
rebuttal?
about that. We've already we said this a million times.
Are you ready to have me share my piece, or are
Yeah,
you,
sure.
do you
No,
want
hey,
me to go?
no. Oh, sorry. I thought you were me.
I don't live in Magical Christmas Land, and I don't see you having a situation where you're gonna have a creature with indestructible and hexproof and unblockable and all of these other abilities that are just gonna like sit around. And I also don't see you living in a world where you're gonna want to attack in and pay a bunch of mana to blow up your own board to kill a player.
I mean, hey,
Like
I'm not my whole board.
you kill yourself in the process because you're taking yourself out of the game to eliminate a player at best. Now, with that being said, I do want to at least acknowledge the fact that if you are playing in a combo-based deck, I think that this card gets much, much better.
Combo sucks.
I don't think that this is playable, to be honest with you, in the sack and I'm going to attack. I think what you want to do is you want to be playing a deck with Academy Rector. You want to be tutoring for it, getting it into play, sacking it with Dane, having Dane become a copy of it, and then sacking the copy of Dane. That way you can put together Decree of Silence and Solemnity to lock your opponents out of the game. The way that those two cards work in play is that if they're both in play under your control, your opponent's spells are going to be countered for the rest of the game. They can just no longer cast things.
Yeah, it seems fun.
I mean, it's a way for you to be able to play this commander that's going to make it powerful, and you don't blow up your board in the process. You lose Dane and one creature.
I'm fucking
Hey, man.
moist.
I mean, also you're not killing a player per se, but if your opponents can't cast spells for the rest of the game, they're not winning.
Oh my god. I've been waiting for this day.
Go ahead, Steven.
So good. Yeah, it has to be a combo deck. I mean, really, the only other way to run it is like we can put a bunch of cards from this current set in here as well. But I mean, like, I think that if you're going to be doing stuff like sacking your own creatures, which is the purpose of this entire fucking card, it's to reanimate. And obviously, we have black to reanimate. Ratadrabik is a really good card in this deck. It would be perfect in the 99, especially when you're sacking a legendary creature. It comes back as a 2/2 zombie. And then you get to the other effect. This deck is ever changing, and I hate using that as a pun.
Ooh.
But like you can constantly, you can build around this deck so many different ways. But the best way to do it is with a combo, like David said.
Whatever.
It is the one and only way I would build this deck. Hands fucking down.
I've said my piece.
I have nothing to say to this. I just wanted to hear you guys talk about this because it was such a hot button topic between us. So I just sit back and I'll just listen, and then I'll just go on to the grades, and I'll start with myself, and I will just give it a D because I don't like it.
Wow.
All right, let's continue. I want to hear Shane's grade. He's gonna give
Well,
it
I'm
a
giving
D
this
for
an
no
A.
fucking reason.
What was that? What was that, David?
All right, well, time to move on from that shit.
Wait,
I haven't even given my grade
who
yet.
else? Yeah, what the hell?
What are you
I
going to
mean-
give it, David?
I meant that shit is in Shane's opinion here.
Oh my god.
Can I give a card 2 different grades? Because I feel like if you build this outside of a combo, this is like a D at best. If you do build this combo centric, I think it can hit a B. But you're also investing a shit ton of money into this deck at this point. Like the combo that I mentioned, Academy Rector, that card alone is $100.
Make a grade.
Whatever you want, Dave.
I'm gonna live on the high side of life. I'm gonna go with the combo version of this. I'm gonna give it a B.
Whoa.
The day has come.
Yeah,
The grades
Steven,
have been decided. And I'm going to give it an A.
that's my boy.
I have been waiting for someone to tell me why this card's shitty. And every time somebody tells me why this card's shitty, I don't think it's shitty.
All right. So that day will never come then, huh, Steven?
I mean, I can't imagine this card being shitty.
Well, the average here is going to be a B.
2 A's? What?
2 A's, a B, and a D means it's a B.
No, I go to the higher grade. It's an A.
It's not a tie for the higher grade.
Damn
An
it.
average gives it a straight B.
All right, guys,
Good
and with
try- good
that,
try,
that's really
Steven.
all I cared about. So
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
see you
talk
guys
to you
later.
next week. Later, dude.
Fuck off.
Next up, we have the Lady of Otaria. The Lady of Otaria is 3 a red and a green for a 5/5 legendary creature avatar. Says you may tap 3 untapped dwarves you control rather than pay this spell's mana cost. At the beginning of each end step, if a land you controlled was put into a graveyard from the battlefield this turn, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may put any number of dwarf cards from among them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
I think Shane should start with this one because he loves really expensive vanilla creatures.
You're so annoying, dude.
This is not a vanilla creature.
It
This
is
is
though.
a way. This is a
What
way to
is the way?
never pay commander tax as long as you have 3 dwarves.
You're right. Sorry, you're
Hunter,
right.
hit me with those numbers.
You want the dwarf numbers?
You can't, dude.
Wait, instead of giving us the dwarf numbers, can you name 5 playable dwarves?
I
No.
can't even name one. I know them. Like I can see them in my head.
I mean,
I don't know
there's
their names.
the cheap one that makes treasures, and there's the also like is Bergie? Is she a
Bergie.
dwarf?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I got to 2. That's it.
What's the one that cares about all the enchantments and stuff? Is that the one you were talking about? The one that like goes and scries?
No,
That's why I was
Bergie's the
surprised.
one that creates mana.
No, I know, but he did. What about the one that like literally goes and like grabs artifacts or enchantments or something? That one's pretty decent.
I mean, there's Magda too. Magda's a really good one.
She's the treasure maker, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah.
there you
Gonna
go.
make me try
Those are my 2. Those are the only 2 dwarfs that I can think of that actually would be somewhat playable.
Hey, there's 50 cards, okay?
Why are we still talking about this card?
Can we move to grades? I'm gonna give it an F. Dwarf Tribal is not a real thing. This is a 5 mana 5/5. Does nothing.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a D because apparently 50 cards, Dwarf Tribal is a thing, and there still is text on this card.
I'm giving it a C.
You're an idiot.
I'm gonna give it a D.
Well, that average here is going to be a D. The next card is Tobias, Doomed Conqueror. Tobias, Doomed Conqueror is 2, a white and a blue for a 3/2 legendary creature human soldier. As Flash, it says when it dies, for each non-token creature you controlled that died this turn, create 2/2 black zombie creature token. This needs to die with other things. So board wipe tribal?
Yeah, I don't like this card at all.
It's got
This
flash
is-
for the board wipe.
It does have flash for the board wipe. Wait, I will die too.
Wait, no, I got it, guys. I got it. You flash this in, and then have Dane become a copy of him, so he dies, and then Dane.
Stop.
I
We don't
can't
need to
stand
go
David.
back to Dane Road.
Yes, he
We're
wants
talking
to
about
so
Tobias.
bad though.
No, there's synergy in that. You get double the triggers.
Uh-huh.
Wait, no, you don't.
You sure don't. Tobias has to die with everything.
This card would have been so good if they would have just gotten rid of the non-token. Oh man,
You mean there was a bunch of tokens that died?
just a bunch of creatures.
Shane, do you have anything to say to Tobias?
I really don't, dude.
We're moving on to the grades. I'm giving it as an F. This is not a good card.
All right, still has text. Giving it a D.
I'm gonna go with an F on this one.
Yeah, we're going F, dude.
Whoa, we got our first F. Average here is an F. Next up, we have Tori d'Avenant, Fury Rider. Tori d'Avenant, Fury Rider is 1, 2 red, and a white. For a 3/3 legendary creature human knight, it has vigilance and trample. It says whenever it attacks, all other attacking creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Other red attacking creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. Untap each other white attacking creature you control. So basically, the white ones get vigilance.
And that's cool.
Cool. So let's build Winota instead and go to grids.
I actually think she plays not like Winota, but instead like Aurelia, the War Leader. I think that's the War Leader one. It's one of the Aurelias. It's the most recent one to get a print where she like pumps a creature, and then if it's white, I think it also gets vigilance, and if it's red, shit, it might actually just give trample.
It's not War Leader. War Leader makes 2 combats.
I'm not saying this is like Winota. I'm just saying I'd rather play Winota.
Yeah?
You're talking about Exemplar of Justice.
Thank you. Does she give trample to red creatures and vigilance to white creatures?
You are correct.
She does the exact same thing, but she's got flying, and she also makes your little things also bigger. I guess this one does too. This one cares about actually like going wide. I could see playing this maybe in just like a I don't know, like a go wide token goblin strategy or something like that.
But is it good?
I don't want
Aurelia
to
is
say
better.
yes.
Aurelia is better. I mean, this like you said. Well, actually, no.
This cares about a lot of things. It really cares about one thing.
One thing. You are correct. Cares about the whole board. I think this is pretty good. As
Maybe.
a Boros player,
I'm gonna say you're a little biased.
is swing.
Swing, swing, swing.
I think the cool part is just kind of just the flavor of the card. She has vigilance and trample, and she gives vigilance trample.
That is pretty cool, Hunter. I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm.
She's very Boros, and I think that she may actually still be one of my favorites from the cycle.
Oh yeah, she's
But not your favorite.
definitely the most powerful so far we've seen.
Meh.
Of course.
Even in the meh.
We're gonna move on to the grades. I still think this is pretty average, so I'm gonna go C.
I'll join you.
Same,
You're gonna
please.
You said meh and you give it a C, Steven? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a meh.
Okay, well, I mean, it's definitely a C for me as well, but I figured you'd make it something lower than a C.
Why would I give it something lower than a C?
Because you said whatever.
That average is gonna be a C. Next up, we have Torsten, founder of Benalia. Torsten, founder of Benalia, is 5, a green and a white for a 7/7 legendary creature, human soldier. It says when it enters the battlefield, reveal the top 7 cards of your library. Put any number of creature and or land cards from among them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And when Torsten dies, create 7 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. So this is expensive.
Very.
You are in
Well-
green.
That's true. It ramps. I'll give you that, Dave.
It also has a pretty impactful ability, not only for whenever it enters the battlefield. I mean, digging 7 deep is a lot. And whenever it dies, making 7 1/1s basically replaces the power and toughness of the card. It's also an outlet where if you do play this with Food Chain, and if you can make an infinite amount of mana, you can cast everything in your deck or all your creatures in your deck.
Mm-hmm.
All right, David. So once
Let's
you
do it.
leave Christmas Wonderland, what's your actual feelings on this card?
I don't think that's Christmas Wonderland. I mean, food chain's really not that hard to assemble. Given it, if you are playing in green, you're only having access to one of the infinite mana enablers.
Hey, but so if you reveal, or if you reveal top 7, and let's say you hit 7 creature and/or lands, you can just choose to draw all of them. Kind of nuts.
Yes.
That's pretty nuts, actually. Yeah.
So like she's a lot of mana, but I think that both abilities here actually are pretty big.
Yeah, I was first thinking this was absolute garbage, but that's not bad.
Like she's gonna draw you at very minimum. I can't imagine she's gonna draw you less than 2, maybe 3 cards. Just by having her enter, and then that's an enter clause too. That's not a cast or anything. So if you flicker her, which by the way you're in white, you can abuse the hell out of this.
Yeah. Interesting. Huh.
7 mana. Still don't like it.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Once it dies, it's 9 mana.
Yeah,
Dies
again, you're not
again,
wrong.
11 mana.
All right, Hunter, we get it. You know math. I understand.
Math.
You're not wrong.
Quick math says too much.
If it dies again, how much after the 11?
13, dude.
Holy shit!
I know.
And then
15, believe that? All right, let's move on to the grades. Once again, 7 mana, D.
Once again, 7 mana, C.
yeah, I think I'm gonna be in a C party.
I think this does a lot if you can get it to go. But it's 7 mana, so I'm gonna give it a D.
Oh my god.
That's my boy, Dave. Well, the average there is still going to be a C.
For everyone at home, some of you know, because you may have watched the other videos, we look at these cards on Google Drive. We have some notes every once in a while. Shane doesn't ever do notes. Anyways, Dave gave this card a D. So when we started talking about it, I completely thought he was going to shit on this card. And all he
Why he
did
does
was
it.
hype it up.
And so
All he did was hype it up.
That's what he
And
does,
then
dude.
at the end, just shits on it, dude. So
I didn't
great.
shit on it. It's below average. Like it can do really cool things. It's 7 fucking mana to get it to come out once.
I just love it, dude. I'm like, holy shit, he's about to give this fucking thing a B. Oh, moving on.
Moving on to one of the most talked about commanders from the set. This is Tor Wauki the Younger. Tor Wauki the Younger is 3 and a black and a red for a 3/3 legendary creature, human archer. It has reach and lifelink. It says if another source you control would deal non-combat damage to a permanent or player, it deals that much damage +1 to that permanent or player instead. And whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Tor Wauki the Younger deals 2 damage to any target.
I love this card so much.
I feel like this is literally every single card David or Commander David fucking builds.
This makes Lightning Bolt hit for 6.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah, but you don't play Lightning Bolt in EDH.
If
Can-
Lightning Bolt
can
hit
with-
for 6, I would play it.
You can with this one.
I guess you're right.
Like you don't play Lightning Bolt because 3 damage isn't super relevant, but 6 for a single mana, that's like you're getting my attention on that one.
Seems like a really good card to build around.
You
David?
build what's up?
I'm gonna tell you one thing you might not enjoy about this card.
What?
It's not just in packs, dude.
Oh, I mean that's super minor.
I know, but you don't like that. So I just wanted to make you off put.
You're not killing my vibe on this card. I'm gonna say this is probably tied for my second favorite card in the set.
It is a very good card. I am right there with you. I'm completely on board.
You guys building it?
Sign me up. I might.
You play this with a bunch of rituals. You play this in Storm. Like this card goes nuts. Plus, this dude has lifelink on him too, which means whenever he deals 2 damage to any target, you're gaining 2 life.
Oh, true.
I think this is definitely in my top 75.
Wow.
I think there are 75.
There are.
So, Steven, tell me why you don't like it.
No, this card's great. I just
Okay.
David said that this was his number 2. Essentially, I was like, yeah, I think this is in my my top 75.
Got it.
I'm going to switch it up. This card is fantastic.
Oh,
Why
Yeah,
did you doubt this card?
I
Because
never
he
did.
just He just realized that not only is Lightning Bolt 6 damage, but it also gains you 2 life.
It's true. Forgot about the part that this guy is doing the damage. That's this is incredible.
Yeah, because you can just stack the shit on, dude. Like Gutter Snipe, Tor in this deck too. Thermal
What you-
Alchemist.
dude.
You're also playing red-black, so like you're just throwing every ritual into this deck too. So
100%.
you're not only building up a massive amount of mana, you're punishing the fuck out of your opponents every time you do it.
Yeah. I want to see this card around the table, dude.
Let's move on to the grades. Shane, let's start us off.
Well, I can see the power. I'm gonna give it a. Fuck, I have to give it a B. I think. I feel like I can't give it a C.
Why would you give this?
Why
a
would
C?
you give this a C?
'Cause I don't want to play it, dude. These are personal grades, remember?
Okay, fair.
They are our own opinions.
I'm giving it an A, man. This is an all-star.
Little high. This is a B.
Sadly, I love this card, but I'm going to agree with Steven. I think the initial casting cost of 5 means this is a B. You're probably not going to be able to afford to recast him if he dies.
It's good to have you back on the team, buddy.
I still love the fucking card.
Well, this average is going to be a B. This next card is going to be interesting to pronounce. This is Tora Kennerud.
I fell out of my chair.
Hang on, I gotta do this
No,
again.
we're keeping that. We're keeping that 100%.
I can't keep that.
We've got to keep it. I'm fucking dying. I literally fell out of my chair. Oh, fuck.
This is Tora Kennerud, Sky Knight. Tora Kennerud, Sky Knight is 2 a white and 2 blue for a 3/3 legendary creature human knight. That's flying. It says whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token.
Liked it better the first time.
Kennerud.
Yeah.
We have to keep the first one, dude. That was so fucking funny.
What do we think about this card, David?
It's part of the bad cycle that I don't really care much for. It's a lot of mana to be able to get it in play, and like, it's cool. You make tokens off your shit, but what is the card? Kaikar, the other, like the goose in Jeskai, does like this exact same thing, but his tokens are flying and can stack for mana. I don't see why you would want to play this.
Yeah. Hey, luckily they didn't put a valve on there. It's not once per turn or some bullshit.
That's true. What do we think, Steven?
Meh.
All right, well, he's a man of many words.
I mean, dude, like, what is there to talk about this card? It's
I know.
It's a 3/3 flyer. Okay, cool. You cast an instant or sorcery spell, you create a 1/1. Sweet. So when somebody tries to kill this, when it comes on the board, you play a counter spell, you have a 1/1, and then somebody else kills it, and then you still have a 1/1. Like, I don't know, man. I'm not high on this card. It doesn't really do enough for me.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody will break this and it'll change my mind in the future, but I don't see that happening. So
Feel the same way being a blue-white player. Just kind of, it does seem cool. You get the 1/1, but I mean, I don't know. Very
yeah,
very
you get the
basic.
tiny 1/1 white soldier.
Yeah. Change my mind, Hunter.
I hate it.
All right, you didn't change my mind.
I can't change your mind. It's just the little 1/1s.
I mean, you could say the name again. That'd change my mind.
It's a 5 mana 3/3.
Yep.
Kennerud.
Kennerud.
We're going.
It's kind of rude.
Oh shit.
Oh, dude, is it? I don't think so. We're gonna move on to the grades, though. Steven, what are you giving it?
I'm gonna give it a D.
I'm gonna give it a C. I mean,
You're an idiot.
I can see the potential of it actually doing something at least.
You're an idiot, dude. What a
It's
fool.
got text on the card, so I gotta
I
give it a
love
D.
how grumpy Steven is with this shit.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, that's what he does, dude.
I'm gonna give it a D. It's not good.
Thank you.
Thank you, baby.
The average grade here for this one is going to be a D. This next one is Uurg, Spawn of Durg. Uurg, Spawn of Durg is 2 black and a green for a legendary creature, Frog Beast. It's a star 5. It says its power is equal to the number of land cards in your graveyard. And at the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard. You can also pay a black and a green to sacrifice a land. You gain 2 life.
All right, I'm calling it right now, dude. This card, the other 99, lands.
You got
On
to
it
throw
right now,
them all in
dude.
your graveyard, then sure.
Yeah, I don't
No.
know.
That's the entire deck. It's just 99 lands.
Yeah, I know. You got to put them all in your graveyard.
Yep, at the beginning of your upkeep, you look at the top card of your library and you put it in your fucking graveyard.
You're guaranteed to hit every time.
You just got to
Then you
cast
play
it.
a land and then you pass.
And then you can sacrifice the land, gain 2 life.
Fantastic, boys. You
I think we
figured
broke
it
the
out.
meta.
Do you see the additional text at the bottom of the card, by the way? It says, once you've read everything on the card, we move to grades.
Oh, that's interesting. Let's move to grids. I'm going to give this an F. I do not like this at all.
Right there with you, baby. F.
Sadly, text on the card, but it's D text. It's not C text.
True.
Curious, Steven. What would make you give a card an F?
A vanilla 2/2. That's 5 mana.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna give Uurg, Spawn of Durg, a D.
You went with D2, huh?
Yeah, he's, I don't know, big dumb beater.
Guess if you get all those lands in the graveyard. But moving on, this average is going to be a D. Next up, Vohar, Vidalian Desecrator. Vohar, Vidalian Desecrator is a blue and a black for a 1/2 legendary creature, Phyrexian Merfolk Wizard. You can tap it to draw a card, then discard a card. If you discarded an instant or sorcery card this way, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. You can also pay 2 and sacrifice Vohar. You may cast target instant or sorcery from your graveyard this turn. If that spell would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. Activate only as a sorcery. Huh.
Steven.
Demir.
You're our Demir.
I don't know.
Steven, make this into like a mill deck or something, dude.
I mean, he keeps bringing up Demonic Consultation with Thassa's Oracle. This is the best commander we've seen from the set for it.
Yeah.
The best fucking commander in the set to do that combo.
Yeah.
It is cheap to play too. It's a 1/2.
So you're gonna do it?
Am I going to build this? No, absolutely not.
Oh.
It's an interesting ability where you can just sacrifice your commander to replay a card. And you still have to pay the cost to sack your commander and pay the cost of the card itself.
I mean, sadly, Demonic Tutor only costs 4 mana then? I'm still
This is
happily paying
common.
that rate.
Yeah.
Yes.
That seemed good.
Like, this is the best instant or sorcery card in your graveyard a second time for an extra tax of 2, which is totally fine.
That's what I'm saying. That seems really good. Seems
Yeah.
strong.
Does seem strong.
Strange.
Strong. Strang. Twin.
We're not saying words anymore. I think we're just talking about how the card is good. Okay.
Okay. Well, then let's move on to the grades, and we'll start with Shane.
I mean, can I say one more thing about this card?
You can say all the things you want, Steven.
I'm just saying, like, it also has that one extra shitty combo that everyone hates to see. Isochron Scepter and Dramatic Reversal.
Sure.
I
I
like
mean,
combos, period, dude.
literally anything in blue can run that.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, you constantly untap, tap, untap, tap, untap, tap, untap, tap, untap, tap. You're literally filtering through your entire deck to then get to the exact cards you want and need.
Play Thassa's Oracle, dude. to discard your whole deck.
Yep. Super powerful.
I mean, in all fairness, this literally is just that deck. This is a combo deck.
Yes.
It's also very fucking cheap at only 2 mana.
So I'll give it a B then, baby.
Okay. I'm still. Yeah, fine. I'll give it a B.
Hey, there we go.
I'm gonna give it a B as well.
Yeah, baby.
Let me get a boop boo for a
Woo
B.
woo.
I said boo boo.
Boop boo.
There we go, B.
All right. Well, the average here for Vohar is a B. Moving on to an insect assassin. This is Xira, the Golden Sting. Xira, the Golden Sting is 1, a black, a red, and a green for a 3/3 legendary creature, insect assassin. It has flying and haste. It says whenever it attacks, put an egg counter on another target creature without an egg counter on it. When that creature dies, if it had an egg counter on it, draw a card, create a 1/1 black insect creature token with flying. I think that's pretty cool.
Seems really fun, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like you can just be like, I'll take one of those, I'll take one of those, I'll take one of those.
Not necessarily taking anything,
Well, I
but
just meant like when it dies, like
drawing.
I'll make. You're right. Still seems like a good card. And it's
Yeah,
in Jund. Oh my god, Dave.
It does something immediately. You don't even have to put the egg counters on the person that you're attacking. You attack the person that doesn't have any blockers, put an egg counter on someone else's creature.
Yep. Steven, what about you?
I think this card's pretty strong. I think that this card with a bunch of copy targetability, artifacts is going to be pretty nasty.
This and Decayed Zombies is pretty cool too.
Mm-hmm.
Anything with a sack outlet, making tokens.
True. It's drawing.
Helm of the Host. Sure.
That's just mean.
Now we go to David and tell us why it's bad.
I know it's fine.
I don't think he's going to say this is bad.
I am. This card is awful.
This card's not bad.
It's kind of slow. I get that it has haste, and that's kind of like the saving factor of this card. You potentially get to draw a card and make a 1/1. You could also do absolutely nothing with this card. Yeah, sure, you can put it on your own stuff and play it in like a sacrifice deck. That way you're guaranteeing you're proccing those things. I feel like the way that you probably want to be playing this is that you're putting those tokens, you're putting those counters on your opponent's things.
Yeah.
But we've seen other kinds of decks do this thing before, other kind of legendary creatures do this thing before, and they incentivize you to actually like your opponents to kill those creatures in addition. This doesn't. And the payoff is kind of small.
Yeah, but you make stuff.
You might make stuff. It's no guarantee that you're going to make stuff unless you're targeting your own things.
No, you don't have to target your own things. You can target your enemy stuff.
I know. Okay, I get that. Yes, you can target your opponent's stuff, but like you're not guaranteeing that you're going to be able to get rid of their thing unless you're following this up with a kill spell on the target that you just got rid of, or on the target that you just put the counter on. And then even at that, the payoff is you draw a card and you make a 1/1. The 1/1 to me is negligible, and the card draw is nice. It allows your removal spells to potentially cantrip, but I don't want to play a removal deck here because there's other options out there that are just better at that too.
David, hear me out. Let me say one thing, Hunter, and then you can go. So if this deck isn't that strong, right? So you're not probably the third at the table. So you're just like casually dropping little eggs on stuff. And then somebody is a problem. And let's say Hunter board wipes everyone. Well, now they're all dead, but now you get you're the one that has like creatures left. That could be cool.
No.
Why?
I don't think that's going to be cool because what is say for example you get 5 1/1s on that. What are 5 1/1s going to do?
Attack your opponents
until they play a single fucking blocker, like
flying.
Well, they're flying, so they have a little bit of evasion.
I still don't see this as relevant.
You can also hear me out. Make a goad theme around this.
I think there's a shit ton of relevance here.
I actually like the OG version of this card more.
I mean, I'll agree with you, but I just think there's a lot of synergy with this, especially with some cards from previous sets and this set. I mean, Braids, you can sacrifice the creature tokens that you're getting to hopefully get them to sacrifice. If they don't, they lose 2, you get to draw a card. Mahadi, you're creating treasure tokens.
But like
Monarch.
my question here is that like if you're trying to take advantage of this card with Braids or Mahadi, why are you not just playing a Braids or Mahadi deck? Because I think that they do the exact same kind of thing, but much better.
I agree, but we're talking about this card. We're talking about this card at the helm of the command zone, and all those other cards being in the 99.
Like I get it. It's just difficult for me to say that like, hey, like this card could be really good. Whenever there are other options out there that I look at, I was like, this card is literally just better at drawing you cards, or this card is better at just dealing with like creature removal. And in both of those cases, the creatures cost less.
I'm ready to move on to the grades.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm giving this a C. I think it's pretty good still.
I'm right there with you. I think it's a strong, like a middle of the road fun deck.
I think it's a little stronger than that. I think it's a B.
Wow.
I'm gonna make sure this average goes with a C. I'm gonna give this thing a D. I think it's slow and fragile.
We know, Dave. We know.
Well, in that case, the average here is going to be a C. Moving on to Czar Ojanen, Scion of Efrava. Jar Ojanen, Scion of Efrava is 3, a green and a white for a 4/4 legendary creature cat warrior. It has domain. It says whenever Czar Ojanen, Scion of Efrava becomes tapped, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Wait. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control with toughness less than the number of basic land types among lands you control. David, you are huge on domain this set. What do we think about this as a commander?
Give me 1 sec. I need to like try to wrap my head around something.
Hunter, there's only two lands.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Car, I fucking hate domain so bad, dude.
Okay, no, I had time to think. Okay. It's 5 mana for a creature that could potentially help your 1/1s become 2/2s, and then once your 2/2s are 2/2s, they are just going to be 2/2s forever.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I'm ready to move on.
Okay.
I don't think Dominion works very well in EDH, dude.
I mean, I don't think Dominion's in EDH.
Shut up.
Dominion.
Five colors says something different. But...
Is there like an instant speedway? No, that actually wouldn't. Would it work? So if there were an instant speedway for you to be able to tap and untap him, say 1,000,000 times, would this still be able to put the +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, or would that just like cap it too?
It would
Unsure.
just cap it too, because it says put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control with toughness less than the number of basic lands. That
Actually, you're
basic
right.
land type is never going to change.
Yeah, you're right.
This card's awful.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, let's move on. I'm going to give this an F. I think that's it. Just this is better in a 99 if something that's 5 color, but not as the commander.
Giving it up as well, dude.
F. Fucking hate domain.
Whoa! We found out what Steven gives Fs to. Domain cards.
I'm gonna give this card a C. It still does things.
Oh
I'm
my
playing
God.
cheap. I'm playing. I'm gonna give this card a D. It makes your like go wide strategy a little bit better, but it's still really expensive. It doesn't do much.
This is an F. The average is an F. Moving on to the final card of the video. We have Zur, Eternal Schemer. Zur, Eternal Schemer is a white, blue, black for a 1/4 legendary creature human wizard. It has flying. It says enchantment creatures you control have Death Touch, Lifelink, and Hexproof. You also pay 1 and a white that says target non-aura enchantment you control becomes a creature in addition to its other types, and has base power and base toughness equal to its mana value. Ooh, enchantment theme, Steven. What do we think?
I mean, I don't know, because I really like the others. This one's really fun.
Everyone does, dude.
I know everyone does. I mean, 3 mana for a flying 1/4 is pretty fucking solid. Enchantment creatures you control with Death Touch, Lifelink, and Hexproof. That's really hard to fucking beat, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Hard to argue against.
Yeah, you can't really. I mean, that's insane. I mean, I think it's really strong, dude. I think this card's gonna have a lot of synergies, especially in the colors that it's in. I really haven't really had a negative thing to say about it so far, I guess. So that's really good.
All right. I think this card is awesome. Just giving the ability to always have a creature on standby if you need it by paying, as long as you have enchantments, that is.
Yeah,
Pretty
plus you can
cool, man.
you can always play the best card in Magic,
Tell me.
Sphere of Safety.
Refresh my memory, please.
Creatures can't
Attacking.
attack you or planeswalkers you control unless that controller pays X, where X is the number of enchantments you control.
Oh, yeah. That's yep.
In my Go Shinsai deck, I've gotten to the point where people have to pay almost 15 to 20 to hit me per
That's
creature.
pretty lit, dude.
What loser goes to combat in Magic?
That's dude, you're preaching to the choir.
You guys are lame.
David, what do you think
What
of
are
this card?
your thoughts?
I think it's solid, dude. It's in Soul Enchantment, which is pretty odd and very unique. I think that you play this in like either a super control-y deck using things like what Stephen had mentioned, or you play this in like stacks, and then whenever your opponents just can't do anything anymore, you make your enchantments creatures that then you just beat them to death with.
Oh, Dave. Yeah. Remember how I never win? Because like I just don't have a whenever I play stacks, I don't have threats like you gave me Elish Norn. This should be the guy.
He's solid.
It could
All
be
right,
the
I'm
guy.
doing it. Yep, this is a good card.
Are you building it?
I would definitely try to play it, yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to grades, and you tell me your grade for it.
I think I'm gonna give it a B, dude, because stacks is mean.
I completely agree. This is going to be a B from me as well.
I'm trying to go back in time, and I'm trying to. Did I? I didn't. No, I didn't say anything negative. I didn't say anything negative, and I think that's because this card's really, really strong. And I love enchantments. So I'm gonna do it because it's the last card of this video. A.
Woo!
I'm gonna round his hat with a B. I can't give it an A, but it's still pretty solid.
Yeah. It's so good for me, man. I just 3 mana, 1/4 flyer gives every enchantment you have death touch, lifelink, and hexproof. And then I
mean-
recently saw a card called Enchanted Evening, and it makes all permanents enchantments in addition to their other types.
Like,
Which
if this was 3 mana for a 10/4 with flying, 100% would have given it an A.
Oh my
10/4.
David, the troll McTrollerson.
Well, the average here is going to be a B. And that is it.
Dude, we
finally did it.
Holy
That is
shit.
all of the multicolored legendary cards from Dominaria United. Wow, there was a bunch. What do you guys think overall before we wrap things up?
I think it's great, dude. I'm so excited to be able to do this exact same thing next week whenever Unfinity starts.
There's not going to be this many cards.
That's what you think.
Won't be that many black bordered, bruh.
Steven, you got any final thoughts?
I think that this set has brought a lot of power to the table and a lot of opportunities. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
I agree.
really excited for the cards that we're gonna see in the new strategies.
Yeah,
I
you're
think it brings a lot to
big
the
on,
table, dude.
big
And by
on
new
spell
strategies,
table.
I mean, I am massive on spell table. And by new strategies, I mean the amount of decks you can build with demonic consultation and thoughts.
Thassa's Oracle. I knew you were gonna say that shit.
All right, Shane, you got anything else to say?
No, man, just that these cards have been. I've had an overall positive experience, even though I hate sitting here for 5.5 hours.
Yeah, I think the amount of cards really might shake up the EDH atmosphere a little bit, which is always exciting to see fresh cards. Some cards definitely do different things than we're used to seeing, and that's what we really want. We're tired of seeing the same old thing. I know I say it all the time with the tokens and counter strategy and green-white. They did it again in this set, but yep, just excited to see new stuff.
Wizards, before we end here, Wizards, please go back to only like 20 legendary creatures per fucking set, please.
they had to make this special because of the Legends Retold.
What about next set with the Legend?
No, they're done. This
Oh,
was
they're
just
done.
like the Dominaria anniversary or something.
Oh,
Yeah, the
okay.
next set is Unlegends.
Unlegend, sick.
Yeah, dude, just
It's-
regular basic creatures.
No, they're legends retold in an unenvironment. You heard it here,
Oh,
by the way.
thank
It's
you.
confirmed from me. I don't work
Okay.
with wizards at all. There's no affiliation in any form. But I'm breaking the news.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below if you've made it this far. Just say, hey, I made it. While you're down there, comment if you guys liked any of the grades. If you disagreed with any of the grades, let us know that as well. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. What are you waiting for? Follow us on our Instagram and Twitter. That is @GuysThatMagic. And until the next video, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Ever-Changing
Bye.
Dane deserves A's.
Never
Bye-bye
changing
now.
Dane.
I
Bye.
mean, goodbye.